Hey everyone, RemanX here. Again, I want to say thank you guys for liking and subscribing to my videos. You guys haven't done that yet, you can do so now. Just click on the little notification button and the subscribe button there, and you'll get constant flow of information that we're providing on this channel. That being said, we're going to go over the month of October team tier list. So we evaluated them by teams. If you guys are trying to figure out how to work on your roster, what teams to focus, we've used this, we've evaluated them in a multitude of environments. If you take a look at the RemanX and tier list, which I really wanted it to be the community tier list. We do get a lot of feedback from the community when we do these lists. It's something we talk about regularly on stream. You can catch me over at Twitch. You guys can take part in it and help us shape this. And more importantly, we want this to be something that's a tool going forward that you can easily reference at any time to see some of the updates. So give us some feedback in the comments on what you'd like to see. So starting with the Black Order is number one. I don't think anybody can argue with the power of the Black Order. And they really are arena dominant. They are usable in raid with Maw and Thanos and potentially quite a few others. I can typically do 2 to 3 nodes with my Black Order team in U7.5. And so that means that they are near the end of the raid. And that means that they're potentially one of the biggest impact teams we've had in a long time. And they hold their weight pretty well. You probably have faced them on war defense or use them on war offense where you can punch up quite a bit. They're reliable. Now, the DD3 scores are going to be based on the table we have over here. So if you guys want to take a look at the table, the top tier team in the meta or the hard counter for it, or they're being used, we talk about it. So we're very hard on DD3 characters because there are some that emerged as clear winners as first choice, and we want to make sure that if you guys sort by that column, if you copy and make a copy for yourself, you can easily see that. Next team, and this one is probably something that we thought really hard about because as of this video, we currently don't have the full Symbiote team. So we are hypothesizing that they might be able to beat the Black Order, and if they do, they will become the #1 team, hands down. With that as the possibility, then we'll probably announce that with Anti-Venom's release probably just about a week from now, about 6 days, maybe next Sunday, as soon as Sunday. We'll be able to take them for a full spin. I'm going to be doing a full unlock, going to be taking them all the way up to G14, taking them all the way up to 7-star, rolling a massive amount of red stars for him, and we'll take and see if he's actually going to take the team to the next level here. Marauders, and I know you guys are looking at number 3 and you're like, wow, I thought Marauders might be a little bit higher. They're a nightmare, and especially because you can use the 3-piece combo of Strife, Mr. Sinister, and Emma Frost to pretty much punch into the Black Order and win with almost any other team. I've done it on stream. I have a couple of clips of it. You guys can take a look at my clips and you'll see me using them quite a bit. But they are still one of the biggest nightmares. They are usable with that 3-piece and some other support in the raid, but because they're not a full raid team in that regard, they can't do some of the pieces that you need. They do slip a little bit, but obviously with war and DD3, Sinister is a support character and Emma is a support character. They're not going to beat Phoenix as far as priority, so they drop down a little bit in there. I mean, Human Squad shouldn't surprise you guys. Yo-Yo being a staple of the team and Black Bolt as well have lifted this team into the next tier territories. They're quite good. They're quite usable. The squad still has some usage with Crystal, and more importantly, they are vital. So they lost points because of DD3. So the biggest problem they have is you're looking at the global and the a cosmic team. So unfortunately, they kind of got split up and they went in separate directions, and as a result, Black Bolt's abilities don't. If you bring both Ebony Maw and you bring Minerva into Dark Dimension 3, because of the health drain, there's the potential that you're not triggering the passive from Black Bolt. Remember, that passive, that threshold, is not triggered by drain percentages. It's something that bypasses that mechanic. So it's become a feature, not a bug, because you could bypass some of the things like death proof, stuff like that. So he doesn't do his burp ability, which means that he's fallen down in that category. Yo-Yo does see some decent use, but not to the same degree. And it should be no surprise, X-Men has been a staple since they've been released. They're one of the top teams, absolutely beating a ton of stuff in war. An auto blitz team, DD3 with the strength of Colossus, Phoenix. They really hold their own. Still with Phoenix in the arena, you know, with Maw being ever present now, with the second release coming and going, there's probably less of a chance that you're going to be using or fighting a team that doesn't have the chance to beat your Phoenix. However, there's still a lot of arena shards out there that probably have some growth, and you can potentially still use them in that combination. And then again, with Raid, they lost a few points because of the fact that most times you're going to have to use a health pack to keep Phoenix alive. She is usable on some nodes. Colossus will support her, but unfortunately they still, and by the way, the final node 2-shot video, props to a member of Legion who put that together. But there are some uses for them, but again, unfortunately, you're going to have to use med packs, and so those typically are some of the criteria that we used, and they lost points for that. So Sinister 6 moves all the way up to just under X-Men, and this is because of their prowess really in war. They're an auto blitz team. Doc Ock really shaped up to be a phenomenal unit, and he's only been overshadowed by the release of the symbiotes. If we didn't have the symbiote team, I think we would probably be talking about all the different uses we found for Doc Ock. So his ability to flip buffs into debuffs, all of these things that he does, they're a relatively magical team. And the power of Electro on our team, and the power of Swarm, and Swarm again, somebody who surprised me. And now with Green Goblin and Mysterio potentially bringing the power to beat Black Order in war, they are a force to be reckoned with. So they're definitely something we talked about. And there are, again, Sinister can be a plug and play to help you beat Black Order, especially if they don't have the full team. So definitely had some arena points there as well. As Guardians are still a good team, but they lost a ton of points for the fact that they are countered really hard in war now. It's as if they gave us a phenomenal team to unlock one of the best legendaries and gradually power crept them out of the leaderboards here. So they are phenomenal. The problem I see with them is they really lost some of the power because they weren't really enhanced by very clear ISOs. So the ISOs really factored into somehow how this was. It wasn't very clear that they were going to be able to stop the teams that were already beating them from doing so with ISOs. And even on a non-ISO team, I think if you put full level 5s on them, I would be hard pressed to believe that they made them more viable. So that's part of the reason why they fell so dramatically here. Hela's prowess in raid, arena, and all the environments keeps them quite a bit higher, but the rest are wind up being support. So maybe there's another legendary or another, the Warriors 3 coming down the road. We don't know, but something like that would potentially be around to enhance that. We know how these teams go. The farther they fall down this list, the more likely they're due for a rework. Speaking of which, we're going to be getting to one soon. So we're looking at the mercenaries here. Now the mercenaries, the only drawback is just they do way too much of their kit in war. And I think that was my apprehension with Taskmaster when he was released, was so much of what was bound by the team happens in war. The same reason why you don't see the X-Force here at all. So we had to give them points based on the fact they can do Blitz, the fact that there are some uses for potentially Taskmaster and Global and DD3. They aren't doing much in war, in Arena, unless you find a nuance fit for Taskmaster, and the same thing for Raid. We really didn't give Greeks consideration because those are devalued because they're pretty much older content, and I expect new Greek raids to be introduced in a following patch in the upcoming months here. So this is something that actually might be growing here too, is the Avengers. Now the Avengers actually got a lot better with ISOs. I took them through U7.5, and I have a very high powered team. They do some cool stuff, and with the ISOs, I think they give them survivability, but they do get quite a bit of their kit in war as well, both in war offense and defense. So they're a really fun team to play with. They definitely have that skirmisher striker interaction that we've been talking a lot about, and they definitely feature higher health pools with Hulk, and they sped up to the point that a healer on both those tunes give them that little edge of survivability. And if we can capture footage reliably of them beating Marauders in war and become a preferable offense target, we are going to move them up on this list if ISOs are making the interaction happen. So if you guys are doing that right now, please send us videos. We'd love to be able to move them up on this list. Avengers are something that obviously they were once the bottom of the the barrel here. They've moved quite a bit up, and they might belong in a top spot over here. And then finally is the Brotherhood. So of obviously a Brotherhood 2.0, evaluating them with Toad and Blob. Boy, I'm going to say this right now. I think ISOs really enhanced this team and allowed them to potentially beat some of these really strong shield teams that we're going to start seeing with the fact that they have these Raider builds that just knock most opponents down. So so realistically, when we're going through that, I think the skirmisher and striker interactions, most of the team has a phenomenal striker ability, and with the skirmisher on Toad, if he assists, they're going to get that striker attack, and it happens enough on the team that it can really decide a victory for you. If you want to see something cool, go take a look at Blob's striker at both level 6 and level 7. Pretty cool if you can make it happen. So that's why the tier list is here. All right, so really quickly, Black Order number 1, Symbiotes number 2, Marauders number 3, Inhumans number 4, X-Men number 5, Sinister 6, ironically it's 6, Asgard number 7, Mercenaries number 8, Avengers number 9, and Brotherhood at 10. These are the teams that we're going to be going through. So guys, just really quickly, we're going to be using this. We're going to be releasing an ISO guide by team. We're going to start with the Black Order and move our way down. This should be something we'll have out in the next couple of days here, especially as we're going to start building my team out that I've hit my targets for ISOs. So we'll start building these teams up, taking them up, and making recommendations for you, and see how we can make them work, capture some footage, and go from there. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys soon. Remember, I do things so you don't have to. This is the motto of the channel. This is why I've got quite a few, too many, level 5 ISOs equipped to my characters, but you'll see going forward as we take these through run of experimentation. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.